Going in a Second, that was on SoundCloud. That was just something, just messing around with, freestyling a little bit off of certain females I used to mess with that I'm no longer with. But yeah, shout out to them. All right, shout out to Sicarah.com. Shout out to all the lovely people that's watching in the audience right now. Chinno Cartel, and I'm out.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Sicarah, and right now you already know I'm with Chinno Cartel. So thank you so much for being with me today. So first, I really have to get into your name. How did you get your name?
I honestly got my name off of my eyes and cartel since my family is Panamanian, so I was thinking more like, all right, normally just go with the roots cartel. I was thinking more with it, but yeah, Chino's for the eyes though.
Okay, now it makes sense. I totally get where that came from. So growing up in Virginia, what was that like for you? Did you know that music was your passion when you were in Virginia?
Honestly, no, I didn't. I was playing basketball at first. My mother would always make sure I was doing some type of sports, so basketball was there. Then we will actually go out to shows to Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, Biggs Marquise. Who else I'm forgetting? I don't want to forget no one else. But a lot of classic hip hop artists, we will always go see them. So I feel like it was, I kind of was a sponge at the time, so I was soaking in a lot. So I didn't really know who they were back then because I'm young, like 11, 12. So then as I got older, I'm looking back, I'm like, wait, I know these people. I'm like, oh, that was who I was with? And I'm like, just acting like it's regular stuff because, you're a kid, you don't really know nothing. And so, get older and I actually figured it out. So I said, all right, let me start doing music. After I had my basketball incident, I had a pneumothorax on my lung. So I was hospitalized for about 3 months. So breathing was a lot different for me. So I had to pretty much learn how to breathe again, slowly but shortly. Then I was like, I need to do something. So music, I just gravitated to that and took it serious.
Well, thank God you're okay. That's really huge to go through and to bounce back. So being that young, is there any performer that you really remember? Like, let's say you were at the show and then you were like, wow, this was the best performance I've seen thus far.
I had to say Slick Rick.
Really? What was it about his performance?
People loved him. Like, they would go crazy. He had Dougie Fresh up there, no beat. He just beatboxing on his own, and people like this, stuck. Because you don't really get too much people screaming and yelling, but it's like they're really into it. It's like the climax of something that's big about to happen. So it was very, captivating for me. So I'm like, yo, he had to be the best performer ever.
Oh my God, that's so huge. So would you say if you could work with any artist, you would go old school or would you go new school?
Honestly, I would like to go. Can I say both, or I have to choose one side?
Definitely say both.
I would like to say both.
Okay.
Definitely.
Who would your old school person be and who would your new school person be? If you could pick one.
Old school, I would definitely say Slick Rick, and then new school wise, I would definitely say I'm really messing with Eminem. Eminem, he keeps it real authentic, just him growing, coming into the hip hop game, he wasn't really wanted at all. The Caucasian kid that's being co-signed by a former NWA member, Dr. Dre. So it's his storytelling and how he actually, flow with his words, his rhythm. A lot of people don't want to give him that credit just because I feel like he is Caucasian or something, or, but he is one of the top rappers that's really nice lyrically and, storytelling as well, low key.
I respect that, and I think that's great that you're giving credit to him, especially after his most recent projects. Yeah, how did you feel when they were talking about it?
Honestly, Revival, and I follow his work. Revival, that wasn't really my best liking of the album. I'm going to be totally honest. I didn't really like it. I feel like he wasn't trying as much. The hunger wasn't there. All I could say was Recovery, when he came out with that, and I'm a kid, I'm like, yo. I really felt what he was saying. I'm like, yo, this shit was fire. Then Kamikaze, I was like, nah, he really dropped some bombs. And he went back to Slaughterhouse days, talking about what happened with them and his music. So I'm like, yo, he's really opening up a lot more. And people kind of feel like he calmed down from back then, talking about, oh, I killed this person, I want to do this to my wife, or I'll cut myself if I'm feeling angry or something like that. He calmed down, but I feel like, nah, he just went more to a different lane. You change over time. besides his age too. So he's gonna change and be thinking more wisely now about the things he says, I guess.
And I really want to get into you. When you released your music and your project last year, what was your mind state behind it? What was your goal mainly?
My goal was mainly to pretty much give the fans that I did have, like that I still currently have in Danbury, Connecticut. I pretty much promised, like, yeah, I will put out an EP for them and at least make like a 10 track or 11 track tape and shoot a video to one of them. So my most favorite song off of there besides JetBlue was Proceed. When I wrote that song, I was at like a lowest point in my life when I moved back to Virginia after graduating. And I was 18 at the time, so I had my own place. Things was rough. I was struggling really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, broke my foot, couldn't pay my rent, so I was really going through it. So when I wrote Proceed, it was more like I can't look back on the past or anything that I did or all the trials and tribulations I went through with people, relationships, or even obstacles. So I just feel like, nah, it's all just battle scars, and I just keep moving forward.
That's huge. So, what would you say your favorite line is? Do you have a favorite line?
Oh yes, see in the mirror the old me, never look back, just proceed.
Hey, okay. I love that. I definitely love that. So, was it hard for you to pick the amount of tracks you were putting on the project?
Honestly, no, cause the producer I was working with, Miles Beats, my boy, and he's now in South Korea, I believe. He had sent me like at least over 200 beats. So I'm sitting here selecting a few, asking friends, "What you think of this beat?" "Oh, I like it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'll mix them to it. Then it was just working that way. I usually don't like to pick beats on my own. I used to have to have like a second or third opinion, cause I may like it, but I can't be making music for myself. If I keep making music for myself, I'm gonna be closed-minded and just think everything gotta revolve about me. But I'm like, nah, I'm making it for people to attract, so people can feel. So it gotta be more about, people that my audience more. I gotta put them first before myself.
I definitely respect that. I'm glad that you're focused on that too, because they're the ones that get the sales. So, so I definitely want to get into the type of music you feel like you make, because your genre. When I was listening to it, I get calm vibes, like R&B calm vibes, but it's not really R&B. So yeah, explain it to me.
I can say I like what you said. It is calm. I feel like more like my ad-libs say anything brings out the song and makes it real lit, lit, lit. But I could say it's a little bit of conscious for the type of tracks that I do decide to speak about something. If I'm dropping some gems or if I'm making like, some what they call it now, trap drill music, something that people want to be feeling lit to and party vibes. I still have to make those, but my main focus is to make timeless music. As far as, later down the road, I'm not here no more, so people going to be, listening to my tracks and be like, yo, I'm really feeling what he's saying right now, like Nipsey, for example. Like, I didn't hear all his other mixtapes when Victory Lap came out, and I was in Virginia at the time. I was listening to it. I'm like, yo, this joint is fire. But now that he's passed and I listen to it now, it sounds so much different. So it's a whole different vibe as to when like he was living and now he's deceased. So it's like he left, like some letters, like Back to the Future or something, when he had homeboy bring him the letter and it was like, "Here, you have to read this letters for you." And then he actually read it. He's like, "Oh, okay, Doc left me this." He was like, "Oh, it hit him different."
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's how I feel like it was.
Okay, so then for right now, and we're in 2019, you released some singles.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the singles you released and why they were important for you to get out.
The singles I did release, as far as Proceed, when I did release that was important for me to get out just because, honestly, I haven't dropped anything after that year, like my final year in high school when I had left. And I was like, I need to drop something. So I'm like, I don't want to drop anything lit because I'm not feeling lit right now. I just need to talk about the struggle. That's how I'm feeling right now. So I was all in go about recording that, went to the studio. My man was like, yo, this show is fire. Then I added in that intro of, I don't know, Denzel Washington and from Training Day. It kind of made me feel more like what he was saying was like, I don't know, it kind of brought like a mean side of me out. I could say like a little thuggish side or something like that. So I was like, all right, let me just throw that in just so some people won't get bored in the intro or whatever. So I was thinking more like, all right, the intro got to be real hard, captivating, because a lot of people look up more to gunshots if they hear it in a song now, which is sad. but I gotta get some people's attention, certain small ways. And like the other recent song I did release, I could say, what was it again? Going in a Second. That was on SoundCloud. That was just something, just messing around with, freestyling a little bit off of certain females I used to mess with that I'm no longer with. But
No, I'm joking.
yeah, shout out to them.
Right, content. Girls make wonderful content. Yeah, like, seriously, like relationships. I get it. I get it.
That's a big
Yeah,
fact.
exactly.
They're all boosting the music. I would say that much.
Right.
Big boost.
So for 2020, it's the end of a decade. So what are you looking to do? Like, what is your idea or your ideal vision?
Vici is going international. That's how I feel, and it's going to really come. As far as the things that I've learned now, more about the business side of things, what needs to be done, like behind the scenes, like marketing, publishing, knowing what song to put out, actually taking time to actually not just rush a song, but it takes months to write a hit or to actually make a hit without being rushed or anything. Sometimes I feel like it's like cooking. It's art. When you making food, you want to like ribs, for example, you let them sit for a little while and some season, then a few days later, it's good. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some love into it, and then you expect to get what you want. It's like school, a class project. You half-ass it, you know what you're going to get. Now you put the work in, oh, yo, I'm getting an A, of course. I'm getting an A. So that's how my mindset is.
That's fire. I think that's very motivational for a lot of people out there. So I think that's super dope. And I can't wait to see what you do next year and what comes next. And what is your social media, your SoundCloud, iTunes?
Find me at Chinno Cartel, and that's with 2 N's. A lot of people always put 1 N. I don't know what it is, but it's 2 N's, Chinno Cartel. Cartel is spelled the same. You can actually follow me on my Instagram, TLOCHINNO, as well as, Snapchat, Twitter, everything else as well. So
Really quick, TLO, question mark.
that means the land of Chino.
Oh, I like that. Okay, very clever. All right. Dope. So there you have it. So make sure you check out all his music. And his music videos are on point. You've done a lot of shows. Is there any one show you want to shout out that was the most memorable to you?
Shout out my man Ahmed, 105.1 with DJ Ramo, mixing like volcanoes, but this shit ain't safe. I definitely got to shout him out. They were like really good motivational people, pretty much giving me insight from when I kind of started getting into doing shows. He just kept throwing, challenges at me. Like, how about you try doing this or try this and do that. Every time he'll throw it to me, I'll get it done. The next show, he's there smiling, like he's proud. In a way, he don't want to give it up too much, cause like he don't want to gas my head, which I respect it. I want to feel like, nah, I'm not doing enough, but keep throwing the challenges at me to where I don't feel like I'm over gassed and I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm untouchable type of thing. Like, nah, I gotta keep thinking like I don't have it yet. Always keep that mentality, even when I do have it.
And send it. I'm handling business. Book me a flight. We head to LA. I trap at the bay. Don't need no excuses. Don't want to delays. I just want to get paid.